gang, it's me, Damo. Today I want to talk about the weird and unpredictable world of Gorillaz. These have been one of my favourite bands since childhood, and over the past week I've been revisiting every Gorillaz album, even the B-sides albums, and ranking them all in a proper tier list. Down in the C tier, I've got 2 albums. I have D-sides and The Fall. Now, don't get me wrong, neither of these are bad, but compared to the rest of the Gorillaz catalogue, they just don't hold the same weight. These sides, to me, feels kind of like the leftovers of Demon Days, and to be fair, that's basically what it is. A compilation of songs and early demos from the Demon Days writing sessions. You do get glimpses of greatness. Tracks like Rocket and Stop the Dams really stand out and show how good Damon's creative leftovers can be. But a lot of it feels unfinished. It's definitely more of an album for the hardcore fans who really want to hear the rough edges behind the brilliance of Demon Days. Not a bad album at all, but definitely right at the bottom of tier C. Then we have The Fall. This is a really interesting record, recorded entirely on an iPad while Damon was on tour. And while that's cool as a concept, it definitely does sound like a tour project. Some tracks like Revolving Doors and The Truth feel fully formed. They've got a really hypnotic, dreamy quality that I love. But the rest of it does kind of feel like he's just experiment on the road, trying things out for fun. While I respect the creativity, overall it doesn't quite have the depth or polish of the other albums. Solid curiosity pieces, but definitely C tier to me. Moving on up to the B tier, these are really good albums, proper solid Gorillaz albums, but not quite front to back bangers. At the bottom we have their self-titled debut, Gorillaz. Gorillaz' debut album really set the stage for what the band could be. It's got an amazing early 2000s lo-fi trip-hop energy to it. It's super experimental and packed with personality. And of course, you've got the standout hit Clint Eastwood and 192000s, which have become cultural touchstones at this point. There's so much character and personality running through the whole album. It's gritty, weird, and extremely alive. But not every track hits for me. Songs like Man Research and Star Sign lose me a bit, and I'm not a huge fan of Damon's overuse of falsetto here. But as a debut album, it's still a solid B. Now we move on to G-sides. This album grows more and more with every listen for me. A reflection of B-side that's surprisingly cohesive. As D-sides was to Demon Days, this is to the Gorillaz. Tracks like The Sounder and Left Hand Suzuki Method are honestly more interesting than some of the debut album's weaker cuts. On this release is the Soul Child remix of 192000, which I prefer even more to the original, filled with so much soul and joy. And then you have the Feel Life Cypher edit of Clint Eastwood, which really has its own flavour and differs itself from the original. It really shows how the collaborative culture really fits into the Gorillaz identity. This is even better than the debut album for me, a really underrated gem. Next up is The Now Now. This dropped right after Humans and is basically a response to the fans saying we miss Damon, who, as we'll talk about later, took more of a backseat on their previous album. There's only 2 features this album, and it's a much more Damon forward record. It's got a really hazy psychedelic Brit rock vibe running through it, and it's super laid back. The lead single Humility is such a summer chill song, and then you have tracks like Idaho and Sokai, beautiful, really emotional, and the production is amazing. While it's not Gorillaz' most adventurous album, it's extremely consistent and easy to love. And then right at the top of this section we have Cracker Island. This one does give me similar vibes to the Now Now with its consistency, but it's much more refined. It's so dreamy and slow-paced, it's super smooth to listen to. While you do have upbeat hits like Cracker Island and New Goals, but most of the album you get these softer emotional moments, as with Oil, Silent Running and Possession Island. On this album, the features much rather add to the tracks than take them over, which is great to see. The album is chill, cohesive, and overall just feels like a band comfortable in their skin. So yeah, right top the B tier for me. Now we're going to move on to A tier. This is where Gorillaz released some of their best work, just creeping into the legendary status for me. First album here is Humans. It was a big comeback after 7 years off, and the hype was unreal. It's a huge album with 26 tracks in total, tons of features, and a massive variety of sounds. When it hits, it really hits. The section with Vince Staples is pure energy. Andromeda brings this dream disco groove, which I could listen to for hours and hours. And then you have tracks like Let Me Out, which feels like a cinematic horror movie in song form. The album is completely chaotic, but extremely fun. The album you can kind of throw on and just get lost in. The one gripe of this one, as previously mentioned in the Now Now, Damon sometimes takes a backseat a little too much. There are tracks where he's barely there at all, which can make this album feel like more of a Gorillaz produced mixtape rather than a Gorillaz album. But still, I can't deny it's an absolute blast. And next, and at the top of this section, is Song Machine. Song Machine was an amazing way to bring the band back to life. The rollout alone was so much fun. A new single and music video every month, all with different collaborators. I loved it. You can tell with this approach, every track gets to stand on its own. It's creative, diverse, and fresh. The balance between Damon and the guest feels just perfect this time. They open this project with Momentary Bliss featuring the UK rapper Slowthai, and this is such a killer opener. Punk energy with a psychedelic twist. Love it. Then we even get a callback to the Plastic Beach era with The Lost Chord, which is a beautiful track. And then you have the track Opium featuring Earthgang, which is seriously perfection. Seriously, listen to it, it's so good. Straight hits, it's a love letter to every era of the band, and no track fails on this one. Moving on to the top now, the S tier, the absolute pinnacle. Let's start with Demon Days. This album is a masterpiece. No other word for it. It's dark, cinematic, and somehow hopeful at the same time. Each track brings something completely unique, from the apocalyptic groove of O Green World to the haunting beauty of El Manana. Got legends like De La Soul and MF Doom appearing in this mix, and production on this one is so clean and flawless. Honestly, one of the best produced albums I've ever heard. It's really one of those albums where you finish it and think, wow, that's lightning in a bottle. It's an album full of character, perfectly explain all the many facets there are to love about this band. But my number one album, the album that can't be beat, is Plastic Beach. This is Gorillaz firing on all cylinders. The will building, the sound design, the concept, the art, it's pure creative genius. The production is glossy, synthetic, but still warm. It perfectly nails the artificial paradise vibe that the entire concept's going for. You've got the chaos of super-fast jellyfish, the orchestral grandeur of White Flag, and the introspection of Cloud of Mowing, and the features just don't stop on this one. Somehow all this madness fits together perfectly. It really is the kind of album that I would recommend for everyone. Even if you've never heard a Gorillaz song before, 10 out of 10, perfect album. I could speak about it for ages, and maybe I will in a future video. So, yeah. That's the full Gorillaz tier list. There's not a single album in the discography that doesn't have something new to offer. They've managed to stay fresh for over 20 years now while constantly reinventing themselves. And that alone is extremely impressive. But what did you think anyway? Do you disagree with me? Do you not? Let's argue in the comments. I absolutely love it. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Let me know what bands and albums you'd like me to talk about in the future. See you later. Bye.